Hey, what's up guys? Daedric here. Want to make this video about who is the hardest character in Tekken. I already got this pulled up. Made a little tier list. I was gonna make a top 5, but I have 6 characters here. Can't decide on these two. But in my opinion, I think Brian is absolutely the hardest character. I'm gonna be going in depth. And then in second, I got Kazuya, then Lee, and then Heihachi. And then out of these two, I think I'm gonna put Steve the top 5 hardest rather than Jin, but he's quite a hard character and quite complicated. All right, let's jump into practice mode, and I can start talking about why I think Brian's the hardest. Make sure everything's good. All right, so you probably already think I have him on crouching because I was practicing taunt jet upper, of course. Average Brian player. So why do I think he is the hardest? I think it really comes down to his game plan. And that's why Lee is also hard. But let me not overstep. If my opponent is not really hitting buttons, then to open him up, and let's say I get like any type of plus frames, right? He can still sidewalk, and it's actually quite easy to sidewalk this move, and then you have to start overcommitting with these mids, right? Which can easily get counter hit out of. So this is 17 frames, which is probably his best move. But if they step and then jab, right, then they can get their frame. Your frames pretty much, I feel like, don't really matter if they're stepping, right? Because they could step this. This is super steppable, right? And to open people up, usually you want to open with like hatchet or you know, some other mid like this. If he's +5, it matters which way he's stepping. So you gotta see, oh, he's stepping this way. But if he's a smart player, then he's just gonna sidestep block most of the time. And if he's sidestep blocking, then this won't hit because it's too slow, right? And then let's say I am +5 and I jab, they could still step because they need 6 frames. Or I need to be +6 for them not to step. Especially in high level, these a lot of women characters can just straight up step out of the way when they shouldn't be able to, but they do. So there's that. There's also the taunt, which I don't really. That's just kind of another mechanic that I don't really need to talk about right now, anyways. It is quite a complicated concept, you know, having like a 28 frame blockable, but that's not why I really find him hard. Like I can do all that cool shit, you know, taunt jet upper and stuff, but it's not why I find him to be the hardest character. It is more about the tools that he has and the properties that he has on the tools. And 4-3 is a confusing move because if they do, fuck, how do I record this? So if I'm +5 and they step and they jab, I don't know if I can record this. Could try something like this. Okay, that was kind of a slow jab. Okay, have to do neutral. Now this move is quite complicated because if I delay my 3, then it tracks, and then if I don't, why is it tracking him? Is it just because he has bad movement, Heihachi? So this is why this move is quite confusing, because if I delay it, then it has different properties. I feel like it has almost like this weird tracking to it, you know? Usually that doesn't track. I don't know why it's not tracking. I guarantee if I was Heihachi right now, I could step it. I think that's all I wanted to say about Brian. I think his tools are kind of confusing almost to use. You know, like this move, how it's just like random as fuck, the most random move in the game. I feel like just straight up huge sidestep into it, and it's counter hit. All right, I'm gonna switch to Kazuya. I can go to simple, right? Yeah. So now I'm gonna talk about Kazuya and what makes him difficult. This character has basically this shit panic button and cannot rely on anything other than fundamentals. So he revolves around ducking highs, ripping that shit, that twin piston, and getting this knockdown, and then going for his 50-50. That is the entirety of Kazuya, and I feel like in Tekken 7 he really doesn't work because this shit feels way too slow, and I feel like I get counter hit out of it mad. Does have some cool combos though. So the biggest problem with Kazuya and why he's so hard to play is just because of how slow all of his shit is. Right, so this is, you want to add forward, so it says 16. You want to add forward, neutral, down, down, forward. So that's four extra frames. So it's always going to be 20 frames to come out, right? This is also 22 frames because you have forward 3. Okay, so he's slow as hell. So this character, his whole entire character design, his archetype is all about timing, just like Brian. But if you are really good at spacing, then this character is honestly fucking insane. And I did get him to Tekken God Prime. I got him to like a really high level. And I feel like since I played Brian and I had such good timing already. Thank you for the follow. I did not see who it was. But he really revolves around timing of just this one move, right? And if you're good at doing the electric, then this character kind of plays itself. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. But I feel like it does. He really is a crazy character if you have good timing and you can really use his electric well. But that goes for, you know, all Mishimas. I feel like Kazuya is the hardest because he does have the hardest combos, right? But I feel like electrics are a little over exaggerated, and maybe if you're good at the input, right? Since I've been playing for a while, I feel like it really isn't too much, you know. I don't think he's the hardest character. So now I want to talk about Lee and what makes him tough. And he's very different from the other characters, and like I find it hard to use their tools, right? They are great tools. But Lee is all about, I don't really play Lee. I don't remember how to fucking do that shit. But his combos are so ridiculously hard. And he also goes along the lines of timing is everything, but he has really good properties on these moves. Like this move is ridiculous. He has Acid Storm. Oh, you have to double tap. Okay, that's what I'm missing. But this is a very complicated character. And he kind of works in the way that Brian does. Where he... Oh my... God. How the fuck do I play this character? Okay, I'm not even gonna try. I think he has really good tools, but the combos are just so ridiculously hard. Like doing this down 3 into his pickup that he does, or like this. I feel like everything kind of leads into this kind of pickup, right, where he dashes forward and does that. And it is quite hard to get consistent. That's why I think he's a hard character. a lot of different properties on his moves. Like down 3 has a lot of crushing, but he doesn't really have any really cheap moves or like anything like that. Talk about Heihachi. Next, we're talking about Heihachi. Now, this character operates solely on using his mids, right? His really powerful mids, which is extremely interesting, right? All of his lows are either do that amount of damage, 7 damage, or they're insanely risky, like down back 2. My game just lagged mad. Down back 2 +6. Seems like a pretty good low, right? It is a launch, but hey, you know, the mids kind of make up for it. And this down back 2 here, being launch punishable and reactable, I feel like it's kind of, you know, why would you use that move? Why would you use that move? And we also got this hell sweep here, which is his best low for sure, because, well, it's a counter hit launcher, right? So he has that going for him. Fuck. And you know, you can always do the mix, right? He can either go for hell sweep into forward 3, which is a frame trap, or he can go for, you know, his hell sweeps. I haven't played Heihachi in a while either, but very tough character to play. His combos aren't that hard. He dropped out of it. But organizing a game plan when you really can just only use mids, right? It is pretty tough. Especially if they're a smart player and they can, well, not a smart player, but if they have good reactions, right, and they can react to that move right there, then all you really have is this. Launch punishable, 15 damage. It's not really too good. So that's pretty cool. You know, you can always do this into, you know, this counter hit, which is a pretty good move, but for you to always use this move and just kind of like dash up in their face and use this, it is tough to get pressure going from this. This is, I mean, it is +2, right, if you cancel it. So it's really not bad, you know, especially when he has this being 13 frames. Being +2 in their face ain't bad, ain't bad. But this move cannot really be used in neutral unless, you know, you're like dashing in his face like that, or they're at the wall, right? So he really doesn't have any form of mix-up. He's all based around, you know, counter hitting the opponent, which is quite interesting to me. Really relies on when the other player is going to press. And I love Steve's design. I might start playing him. We hit the Shiro. Extremely hard combo to do. He has the hardest combo in the game to do, but since his other combos are not really too hard, it is just the Shiro combo. But this character gets infinitely more bogged down when you think about like these stances right here, right? You have to make use out of, so how many stances are there? 1. This peekaboo, right? And this is like kind of like the rush down poking stance, right? And you have many options from that, right? You also have the Shoryuken and that kind of stuff. And then you have flicker, which is kind of like the keep out stance. And then this also has, you know, this move for keep out, and it all gets very annoying, I feel like, always having to go into a stance. Now, I played him in like quite a high level, I would say. I think I got Tekken God with him, right? I could check after, but doesn't matter. I got to a high rank with him, and you always having to go into these stands and make a quite a confusing character. And the days of playing Steve, like using 2 moves is over, right? Of just doing down forward 2. I mean, you can still kind of play it like that, but against high level, they're going to start sidestepping that, and you're just going to be fucked, you know? You're just going to get electric, or since you go into duck, you know, probably down forward 2 or whatever. But yeah, extremely complicated character, I feel like. His combos aren't really that hard. Once you get them down, I feel like they're kind of like any other character. The slows use this. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Just relying on timing. You know, just a really timing based character. His mix up is just kind of bad. He has this mid, which is fucking insane, right? Especially at the wall. Basically can't be whiff punished. Especially if you cancel into flicker, you'll recover extremely fast. Yeah, that's quite fast. But yeah, thanks for watching. It was a very interesting video to make, I feel like. I could absolutely go into depth on hold on, let me just show you what I'm looking at. On Jin right here. But I think top 5 will do. Fuck you, Lee. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please leave a sub. I would really appreciate that. Thank you guys.